The following is a Closet 501 production.
Hi, welcome to Hot Takes. I am Nevaeh Cairns, a junior at Coronado, and I am joined with
Angel Boyd, a junior from Lubbock High.
And today we are going to be talking about the fair. So, our class decided to go to the fair for 2 days out of the week and film some stuff about the topic we were given. Angel, would you like to talk about what your group did?
Me and my group, our thing was basically like on how the fair started and like how it's going. And so we got a lot of, takes and a little interviews from like the head manager of how long she's been there and everything that she's known since she's been there, the manager there and stuff. So we got a lot of other opinions, other people's other opinions on how it started and stuff like that from their past, like parents and stuff who's been there.
Would you like to show me something like from that?
Yes, actually, we do have an interview from the manager, the head manager from the fair.
Okay.
But like I said, there's a little bit of everything, but the livestock is real important to us. We renovated the barns in 2019. They were built in the 1940s and hadn't been touched. So we were blessed to be able to kind of upgrade those insulation fans, new pens. So that was a good thing that I was able to do under my watch, so I appreciate that. But like I said, it's mainly a family-friendly environment. That's the thing about the fair. It's generations. You have grandmas and grandpas bring their grandkids, their kids. You'll see always just groups of people. And they did it when they were a kid, so they continue that tradition.
That was great. She's an amazing person.
Yeah, she is. She said that she was there for a while since she's been a manager there and stuff. So she said that she just likes how it's going and stuff like that. She actually did tell us whenever Tech versus Texas played that the kind of slowed down a little because everybody was at the game, So yeah, she said that they did have a little short run during Saturday.
And she is right. It is a very family-friendly environment, and just everyone goes and has fun and eats a lot of food.
Yeah.
Which that's what my video was about. We got to interview one of my partner's grandparents, and he works for one of the nonprofit organizations there at the fair. And he told us about how he started doing that and what they're doing for their church and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And actually, whenever we got done, I heard I actually got free food from them.
Me too. It was really nice.
But we also did end up getting an interview from one of my teammates, one of my classmates that was in my groups about his thoughts about the fair since he's been going.
Okay.
The fair, I've only been here twice, and so far I like it. My first time experience was pretty odd because I haven't been to anywhere this, I guess, amazing. That's how I describe it. The rides were wonderful, especially at night with all the lights. And the fact that they have tiny shows for everybody, and also such as little petting zoo, it's pretty cool.
And that was from my classmate Joshua. And just his opinion and stuff. Yeah. But overall, our project with the fair, it went great and stuff. So there was most def a whole lot of bees over there by the lemonade stand.
Dude, yeah, there was a lot of bees.
Yeah, and me personally, I'm scared of bees just because I'm allergic. So I was literally just scared just to even go. But overall, I think it went really well. But the only thing that I wish we really could have done is the rides and stuff. It would have been way cooler to get some more shots of you riding the rides and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's great to hear from Josh because he just moved here not that long ago. And so I wonder what his first experience was. And he said it was amazing and he enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
And I do really wish that the rides were open at the time that we went.
Yeah, me too. But I'm just glad that, it just went great. Our whole class, had a lot of fun with it. So, but I wish, I'm hoping we do more stuff like that. So.
Me too. I am really excited for what this class holds in the future.
Yeah, me too.
And it was just a great experience to see everybody talking to one another, getting to know each other. Like,
yeah,
we were in this class last year, but we were in different classes, and it's good to have that bond with someone else.
yeah, you know, just getting to know your classmates, especially since, like you said, we weren't all in the same class last year. So,
Yeah.
you know, like, especially Mr. Wood, like, splitting us up and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I thought that was great, you know.
Like, in my group, it was me, Dominic, and Ethan.
Yeah.
And, like, I was in a class with Dom last year, but I never really got the chance to, like, talk to Ethan because he was in a different class. So, like, it was a good experience to get to know him better.
Yeah. Same with Isaac and Josh, who were the people that were in my group. And for you, you know Josh. So,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, honestly, when I got here, I thought, like, I wasn't finna talk to nobody because I didn't know nobody except for the people that I knew last year, you know.
Yeah.
But overall, like, I'm having a lot of fun, you know. I met a lot of new people, for you,
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm just glad, you know, the fair thing went, like, great, so.
Yeah, it was great. And it was just overall an amazing experience for everybody in
Yeah.
the class.
And then I just like the fact that Mr. Ward gave us something to do that wasn't involved in, like, you know, like, having to stay on campus, you know, like how other states or like other schools would most do. Like, he gave us the opportunity to get out of school and go to a fair and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was like a really great opportunity.
Yeah. Overall, I really liked it. You know, I really thought it was great, and I thought that was very nice of Mr. Ward. But overall, I heard the fair did absolutely great since it's left Saturday. I heard that they had a lot of people go the last day.
Yeah,
and so,
I heard about that too.
Yeah, like there was like a whole bunch, but especially on the $40 day for the wristband. But yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I went Friday.
You went Friday?
Yeah, and it was like crazy. Like, there was people everywhere, and
Really?
it felt like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when it gets packed, I feel like it's like a whole lot of frustration because like everybody's like so close together, you know? Because like I know I get frustrated. I went on the first day and like it was so packed
Because it was like free on the first
yeah,
day.
and like the dollar rides and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So like I was just like, but like I don't even want to be here no more, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, but like it's so packed. Like we can't do nothing. The lines are long. So I was just like,
Yeah. But going during the day,
yeah,
like just during lunch hour, like showed like a different perspective
yeah.
from the fair.
And even at that, I like the fact that like when it's here, like before you go, like before 3, like during lunch hour, like you don't have to pay for parking. You get in for free and stuff like that, you know. But I really thought that was like nice because like you don't gotta. There's no point in paying all that if you're just going for food, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought that's like cool and stuff that they do it like that.
That's what I really liked about
Yeah.
it.
And I like the fact that you know how like the what's it called, the retirement homes and like the special need people, like
And how they
went, how they went, and like whoever they're working with, you know, at least took them out there to go see it and stuff like that, because you never know if they were able to go see it as a child, you know.
Yeah.
So like I thought that was like really cool and sweet that we've seen a whole lot of like elderlies and like, you know, like people with special needs and stuff.
And how they got to go and like
Yeah,
experience it.
yeah. I seen that a lot of them were actually really happy to go because
Yeah.
like I just thought it was like nice and stuff. So
So did I. It was like really great to see like the smile on their faces.
yeah,
And how the fair gives like that opportunity for them to go and like see it.
yeah. I just thought that was really nice.
Me, so did I. And the people that work there are like really, really sweet.
Oh yes, of course. And I love how some church communities get involved with it. You know,
Yeah.
to save up fundraisers, to get money to go on like trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we actually did have an interview with one of I forgot what their stand was called, but it was one of the churches that has been there for a long time. And yeah, we had a interview with one of the head pastors that go on the trips and stuff. So I thought it was really nice.
That is really nice. And I like how, they like use all that stuff to like go.
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, I just thought it was great. But overall, I'm just glad I had a good time, you know,
Yeah, me too.
and did a whole bunch of other things. And like, my favorite part was the animals, honestly.
Yeah, those were great.
Yeah. I never seen so many baby chicks before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how they what's that word?
Cooperate?
Not cooperate, like they put everything that catches everybody's interest. I forgot the word was.
I don't know
Anyway,
the word.
they like put like art, they put livestock, like stock shows.
Oh,
they
yeah,
put,
yeah.
like musical performances. They have like magic, like
yeah, like
robots walking
they have a little
around.
taste a bit of everything.
Yeah, a little
for like
bit of
the
everything.
kids and then the adults and like people who love
And then the
art and stuff like
teenagers,
that. Yeah. I just like how they have like a whole bunch of different things for like people that like can't get on the rides and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just the rides. So I
Like,
thought
it's
that
like
was
the
like
food,
really good.
the art,
Yeah,
the petting zoo for the kid, like everything.
yeah, especially for the babies because like they really can't get on the rides.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's like really cool that the fair really has like more than one thing for like different age groups.
Yeah.
So.
And like how they have the robot walking around and like the
Oh,
kids are
yeah.
like, oh my goodness, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I remember being scared of it when I was a kid, but
Bro,
now that I
me
look back on
too.
it, I was like, dude, that guy was so cool.
Right. And now I'm just all like, dang, dude, you're like really cool.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining. Well,
Of
we're in the same
course.
group. Thank you. Thanks to everybody. Yeah, whatever. But yeah. So that's it for Hot Takes, talking about the fair. We'll see you next time, right?
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Of course. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our podcast. We're the Cleanup Crew presented by Closet 501. I'm Parker Haggard, sitting here next to Isaac Contreras.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
So, Cleanup, just like a little background of us, we kind of talked about it last podcast. Cleanup Crew, we're a 4-man crew. Me, Parker Haggard, of course, and Isaac.
Yep.
Last podcast, we had Jared Owens and myself on. So those are kind of like the three faces. And we might get Julius on, but Julius on is kind of like our technical guy. He kind of does our animations. So we respect him a lot. And we work well together. So
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
beautiful team.
It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
All right, so it's another generation podcast. So we're kind of talking about what happened. I mean, like just kind of things that like are local or things that happen,
Yeah.
And so today we'll be talking about May 11th, 1970. And Isaac, what happened May 11th, 1970
Okay,
here
so-
in Lubbock?
Okay, so on May 11th in 1970, Lubbock was hit by 2 tornadoes, very damaging tornadoes, $200 million worth of damage, 26 dead, 255 serious injuries, 1,500 minor injuries, 1,100 homes destroyed, 8,876 homes damaged. Property damage was around $135 million. Public property damage was $7,500,000. Automobile damages, 10,000 cars were sustained, but all of that, $6 million worth of damages. Debris moved was about 375,000 yards cubic for debris removed, and federal funds allocated for relief for $59 million. It was a terrible day.
Yeah, so do you kind of just want to give us like a bit of like a timeline, kind of stuff that kind of happened?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so by 6:55, Lubbock detected a moderate thunderstorm 5 miles south of Lubbock. 7:05, a meteorologist, I believe by the name of Alan Johnson, caused to tow the civil defense dictator Bill Payne of the storm, and a warning was issued. By 7:45, forecasters noticed the storm was becoming more severe, so a severe thunderstorm warning was issued until 9 p.m. for Lubbock, Crosby, Eastern Hale, and Floyd counties. There were city officials and KFYO radio personnel at a fire department cornbread and beans supper, but they had to go to the emergency operations center in the city hall and at the KFYO studio across the street. By 8:30 is when the first tornado hit near Broadway and Quirk Avenue, which is now Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. A tornado warning was then finally issued at 8:59 p.m. until 10 p.m. for Lubbock, Western Crosby, Southern Floyd, and Southern Hale counties. 9:35, a second tornado hit near the intersection of 19th Street and the University Avenue. Power is off in different parts of the city, including the Weather Bureau official offices at the airport. KFYO announcer Bud Andrew tells everyone to take cover by 9:45 p.m. 10:03 p.m., a tornado passes over the WBO in Lubbock, which is the Weather Bureau office. 10:30 p.m., the city announces the most devastated areas will be sealed off by 11 p.m. The city learns or finds out that 2 out of 3 of the main power plants that power water were out. So their water stations were out, basically. Yeah. By 11:30, the tornado warning is canceled after the storm calmed down in the Lorenzo area. And, I mean, that was all that in that one day. May 12th, the next day, the Lubbock Red Cross and Salvation Army came to help. They opened up an area at the Municipal Coliseum as a shelter and supply distribution, and encouraged people to bring essential supplies, baby powder, water, anything like that. By May 13th, Richard Nixon declares Lubbock as a disaster area. By May 14th, city councilors request the Office of Emergency to arrange a center for federal agencies to coordinate disaster recovery efforts. So the city council basically made something for the federal government. By May 15th, the city council appoints 11 members of the Citizen Advisory Commission to study the impact of the tornado and to make recommendations to, quote, make Lubbock a better place to live.
Okay, so yeah, that was a lot of information, Isaac.
Yes.
That was great. Yeah, okay, so I was able to get an interview with my grandma, and so she was 18 years old at the time. She was kind of young, but she got to experience a tornado. And so I kind of wanted to know what she was doing May 11th, 1970. So here she is.
On May 11th, 1970, in the evening, I was at the old Lubbock Airport waiting for my fiance to come home from his tour of duty in Vietnam. I was there about 7:30 p.m. and a whole group of friends and relatives were there with me. We had banners, and we were going to have a big welcome home event for my fiance coming home from Vietnam. And our plans changed drastically.
Yeah, so I got to talk to my grandma, and she was kind of saying it was a normal day. You know, Lubbock's usually kind of like hot, dry, clear skies, and she was saying it just looked like a normal day in Lubbock, Texas. And as you heard, she was at the airport, so she kind of got stuck at the airport, waiting on her fiance coming back. But it's kind of crazy just how it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, tornadoes, they come without no warning sometimes. And at a town where it's usually pretty quiet, nothing much happens, and out of nowhere, boom, a tornado hits the town. I mean, it's pretty shocking. I mean, most days you can find people planning on doing something on like any other day and not have to worry about anything. And I mean, as we know, the airport was an area where the tornado was hitting. Like there was reports of great ball funnel cloud by 8:10 p.m. near the airport, 7 miles south of the airport. Reports of baseball and grapefruit size ball hails came in, and there was also a funnel cloud forming there. So I mean, it's terrifying to know.
Yeah, I mean, just especially with that coming out of nowhere, I honestly wouldn't know what I would do, especially like it coming out of nowhere. But I also got to ask my grandma, what was she forced to do? Like, she was at the airport, so she couldn't just kind of leave, especially with that coming out of nowhere. So here's her clip. She's kind of talking about like what she was forced to do and what she had to do just with the tornado coming just unexpectedly.
Well, actually, the tornado was south of the airport when we first heard about it, and there were newscasts saying if you're in the path of the storm to take cover. And so all of a sudden we heard a plate glass window in the airport lobby burst into tiny pieces, and we knew it was time to take cover. We saw little planes out back that were just tossed about like toys. and the airport security led us all downstairs into a boiler room that was hot, and we all crammed in there, and it was very hot and crowded, and we were fearing for our lives at that point.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like such like a stressful thing to go through.
Yeah.
Just like having to be put in that boiler room, probably with like hundreds of people, like
Yeah, tons
just
of people.
being
yeah.
like piled up in such a hot room, just not knowing what's really going on. And I don't know, man. It's horrible.
I mean, as we know, by 9:45, they announced everyone to take cover. So your grandma was probably there at 9:45. The first tornado probably had already hit. So I mean, it's terrifying, especially how they knew to take cover when the glass window just shattered. I mean, I bet some people jumped and screamed from that, and then being inside a cramped hot boiler room too, with the like idea of like, is a tornado gonna hit us or not, is like a terrifying thing. It's like you're being trapped for death or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very scary thing to do, go through. And okay, so this next clip is, so especially back in 1970, there wasn't like cellular devices you could just call.
Yeah.
So there wasn't great communication and like being able to contact one another. Like I couldn't imagine not being able to call my mom or call my dad, or like her husband who was on a plane on her way back from Vietnam, like just not being able to contact anyone. That's scary.
I mean, that's terrifying. You want to know if your family's okay or not, so you kind of have to like wonder, like you gotta have to find out or something.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I don't know. That's just a horrible thing to go through. Okay, so this next clip, I was able to talk to her about just like we were just saying, the communication, not being able to talk. So here she is, kind of just going through like what she had to go through, not being able to communicate anybody.
Yeah.
It was very frightening. My dad never made it to the airport, and all the phone lines were down, and of course cell phones were non-existent at that time, and we had no idea where my dad was, if he was safe or what, and we didn't hear from him until the next day.
Yeah, so my grandma, she had no idea where her dad was. So she didn't know he was safe. Like, that's just horrible. I mean, this, like, especially kind of like, there wasn't like the news, like the like data that we have today, kind of like tracking when a tornado's coming or when a storm's coming. It was just unexpected, especially for Lubbock.
Yeah, I mean, I have a big family, so like not only do I have to worry about like my immediate family, my mom, my brother, my sisters, like I have like cousins and nephews, and like so like I may be able to count for my mom and dad, but how do I know my cousin's okay, my grandma's okay, my tios and tias are all right?
Yeah.
It's a terrifying thought to know if they're okay or not.
Yeah, I mean, with it being such a far time, it's just like a horrible time for it to especially happen.
Yeah.
Not being able to communicate. And so this next clip, I was kind of able to ask her, how did this affect her personally and what she went through? How did, like, kind of just like how this affected her personally. So here she is.
Well, I was scared to death that my fiance had been caught in the storm or something like that. And of course, he got word that Lubbock, Texas had been wiped off the map by a tornado.
That's just a horrible thing to go through.
Yeah, that's a terrible thought to, I mean, especially like imagine being the husband and you're like, the town that you're literally just about to go to was apparently just out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, your hometown was wiped out by a tornado now, and you're on your way over there. Like,
yeah, and he has no idea how severe it is because he's on his way back, and so I couldn't imagine.
And I mean, also like having like the thought that someone that you care and love for already thinks you're dead or gone or possibly even harmed is like a thought on its own, terrified itself.
All right, so this next clip is I'm asking my grandma, how did this affect Lubbock? Just kind of like as a city as a whole.
It affected thousands upon thousands of people who were, whose homes were damaged or whose relatives were injured or killed in the tornado. And actually, the rebuilding process was remarkable. Lubbock came together like it never had before. People were helping each other, and it just made us a stronger community. And we all of us who went through it have terrible thoughts of that evening, but we made the very best of it in the end.
That's really good to hear that
Yeah.
after such a tragic thing, it kind of brought everyone kind of closer together, and they kind of like joined together just to rebuild Lubbock.
Yeah, I mean, immediately, like the very next day, I mean, the city council was already taking action to like rebuild and to figure out what we can do to prevent this and what we can do. I mean, like by May 15th, the city council was appointed 11 members of the Citizen Advisory Commission to study the impact and to like, quote, make Lubbock a better place to live. I mean, like, it was immediate. It was immediate reactions, immediate wanting to do something. And I mean, I tend to notice that about Lubbock is when something bad happens, a lot of people from Lubbock come together. We may all mind our business, but when someone gets hurt, we all tend to pitch in something.
Yeah, and it was cool to see, like in your reading, you said Richard Nixon. He also got word of it, and he was able to kind of help out Lubbock. It was cool that everyone, like almost everyone, just eyes around Lubbock trying to help and get him rebuilt.
Yeah.
And so I kind of have like a reading from my grandma, just kind of like a news report. And one of the last things was said, kind of talking about like her husband, especially coming back from Vietnam. He says, "It did look like a war zone. It was definitely a night to remember." And it looked like thousands of rounds just had gone through, which is a horrible thing, just coming from like an actual war zone into something that you wouldn't know that, like it could have looked like a war zone. It was a tornado, just a scary thing to like back to back.
I think it would be a terrifying thought. Like you just left war and you want to go home, a nice clean place, where no death or destruction. And then the first thing you see is death and destruction.
Yeah.
I mean, no one wants to see that after going to, especially Vietnam.
Yeah.
No one wants to see that. It's a terrifying thing, or it's an awful thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so that's kind of going to wrap it up for us today. We kind of went through like the basics and got an interview from my grandma. Got to talk about May 11th, 1970, and how tragic the event really was.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting and sad day.
And so, this is our second podcast, just kind of talking about history of Lubbock. We appreciate y'all tuning in, and this is the Cleanup Crew presented by Closet 501.
The fact that you don't really have anything like this in Lubbock, especially record stores, because they're kind of a dying art nowadays. So having one that's been here for 42 years is just really cool. And the fact that there's just pretty much almost anything you can think of here, not just music-wise, but like movie-wise, game-wise, it's just as cool.
They got a good selection of Pokemon cards at a reasonable price, older stuff, newer stuff. Lets me get stuff from the newer sets without buying new packs and having to waste money that way. And I get to support a local business with a bunch of cool guys and a bunch of cool stuff inside the store.
This is my first time. But if I had to choose, I like how they got like in the game sets and sections and then the Pokemon cards.
Ralph's Records is just like any other media store in what they sell, but going to Ralph's is an experience. Seeing the neon signs and band posters while looking through walls of CDs and records is an experience like no other. Record stores and other similar specialty shops are too special to go the way of the wind anytime soon. And with how diverse Ralph's Records has become, it is far too ingrained in the culture and community of Lubbock to leave.
It's not like your average job. Like before this, it was you know, your basic 6-7 hour job. You get a break in between, go home, and you're miserable. But this one is just like, it's almost less like you're working and more like you're hanging out. There are aspects that are kind of like a job, but for the most part, I just come in, I'm just ready to talk with people, hang out, and it's just a good time.